Hello lovelies, it's Lesley. Not quite enough week left as it's Wednesday already. Thank you for all your comments and thoughts. Always glad to hear from you, as you know, so thank you for those. Yeah, Wednesday, because one of the reasons I'm late is because we were away at the weekend. We went to Cornwall to visit family. So this is my nephew and his family, so that was good. Went on Friday. They're a long way down in Cornwall. So we left home at 8 and I think we got there about 4:30 in the afternoon. We had a couple of stops on the way, got something to drink in one place, something to eat in another. So went round their house in the evening. They cooked some dinner, that was lovely. Saturday we went to a place called Cornwall, which is beautiful. It's an old gunpowder mine. I'm not saying that right, but and it has lots of waterfalls and lovely scenery and paths through it. Unfortunately, about halfway, well, not even halfway around, my ankle decided to give out. I was wearing my new Wellingtons and they were great for mud and wet, but not for ankle support. So unfortunately I had to go back to the car. Himself came with me for that. So yes, not great. I will put all of the footage at the end because there'll be some footage from when we were travelling, and also there are some flashing lights, and I know that some folks are sensitive to that, so if you are, after the dog, turn off, and hopefully that won't cause you any problems. So yeah, so that was Saturday, and my dear little great nephew, I'm very lucky because I have two great nieces. One is coming up to teenage years and one is very little, and my great nephew is in the middle. He is an absolute sweetheart because he'd said to Uncle himself, I would like to go and buy something for Mummy and Daddy because they're so lovely to me. What an absolute sweetheart. So he came with us back from Cornwall and we went via a supermarket. Now he wanted to buy party hats. Thankfully, Uncle himself managed to talk him out of that and just got some little, like, chocolate and things, you know. But, again, such a sweetheart. When they were getting out the car, because I didn't go into the shop with them, I just waited in the car because my ankle. He said, will you lock the doors to stay safe? And he gave me a kiss. I mean, he's just so sweet. I mean, he's also, I don't want to paint the boy as a cherub because he can also be an absolute hooligan and runs around at 90 miles an hour as 6-year-olds do, and has toys that have toy weapons on them and shoots people with them and that sort of thing. So he's not some little cherub, but just got a really sweet heart, which is lovely. So that was Saturday. Sunday we just kind of pottered around at their home. We went out for breakfast, that sort of thing. And then in the evening, my nephew had booked us to go to an event. Now, it's interesting because we're just happy to kind of hang out with them. We don't want to kind of mess up their lives just because we're helicoptering ourselves in for the weekend. Figuratively, not literally. That would be a quicker journey. We're happy to just do whatever they're doing, you know, out walking the dog or, you know, helping the kids with their homework or what have you. But my nephew was feeling that we don't really do anything. We just kind of sit around, which to me is doing stuff, but not to him. So he arranged for us to go to the Lost Gardens of Heligan. And I must try and find out about the Lost Gardens of Heligan. I know they were gardens that were lost and have been rediscovered and made beautiful again. That's probably all you need to know. But it's winter time and they have a night garden, they called it. I was going to say winter wonderland, but it's not that, it's a night garden. So they have lots of different light displays, and it was really great. It was a lovely selection of things. It was a walk. I think it was something like a mile or a mile and a half, but a very slow mile and a half because you'd stop and look at the different things. Certainly we were there a couple of hours, so, you know, it was a gentle stroll with lots of pauses to look and to kind of take everything in. And there are spots where you can sit. There are picnic tables, so if you've taken food and drink, you can sort of sit and enjoy them without having to buy what's there. I mean, they have places with selling foods and drinks as well, but just really gentle things, nice things, you know, marshmallow toasting over a fire pit, those sorts of, you know, that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was really lovely. So I'll put all the pictures at the end. I think our favourite item between us, because there were lots of animals and they were made out of it looked almost like a fiberglass, or it looked like when you were a kid and you would make stained glass with tissue paper and glue. It looked like that sort of fabric stretched over frames and then painted. So they were very impressive. There were also representations of plants and flowers. Some of those were in what looked like glass. So they were pretty cool as well. But our favourite thing was an art installation called The Wave, and I should have taken a photograph of the information panel so that we could have the artist name, but I didn't, so apologies. And you'll see it if you look at the lights later, but it was a kind of a series of circular light bulbs that would light up and change colour and all of that. And it had a musical part to it as well. Now, this was, I think the information said like 500 voices, but it wasn't singing in a conventional sense. It was a kind of a sound experience rather than something going for an obvious melody. There was one fantastic chord in it. If I've got that, I'll try and play that at the end. But when you're taking footage at an event like that, you get a lot of people's kind of conversations, and you kind of miss on the footage some of the special nature of it, because you've got a lot of ambient noise. But that was a really nice event. We were very lucky with the weather. It had rained quite heavily Friday night, I think, but the rest of the time, although it was kind of wet underfoot, it wasn't actually raining on us much, so we were very fortunate with that. And then we came home on Monday, so again, left just after 8, got home about 4:15, I think it was, with a couple of stops. So long drives. I know that for some of you in larger countries, they're not long drives at all, but for us, very long drives. So feeling pretty weary, but nice to see them. In the past, we've gone by train and then hired a car when we've got there. There are advantages and disadvantages on both. The main advantage of the train, or the main two advantages of the train, knitting time and sleeping time. But some of the roads we were driving, I was kind of glad I was in my own car, because where they are and some of the places we went to, quite rural areas, quite narrow roads, you kind of want to feel confident about what you're driving and where it starts and ends. So wasn't sorry to be in my own car, although we'd had the long drives there. So yeah, pros and cons. So that is our weekend. Whilst there, had a call from my sister saying Dad was back in hospital. He is hopefully being discharged today. I don't know, does he like the food in there? I don't know what it is. No, he's, it's not great, but it's okay. I mean, it's not life-threatening or anything like that. It's just disappointing for him to be back in hospital again. But he should be home today, which will be a good thing. So I'll see him at the weekend. Yeah, so that's probably it for now. I'll catch up with you later. Cheers. Hello, lovelies. Daddy's home. Dad came home yesterday. It's now Thursday as I record this. So that's good. Yes. Little stay. Back home again. Lovely. Him and us. Some people just get jealous. You know, we went away for the weekend. He thought he'd have a few days away from home as well. All fine, all fine. Whilst going through my photographs, I realised there was one place that we went to that I didn't talk about when I was sitting in the car yesterday. And that's a place called Cornwall Gold, which has a museum about the mining industry in Cornwall, tin, gold, various other metals. There's also a big jewellery shop there, because of course there is. There's a place where you can open freshwater pearls, which my great niece did. Well, they open them because it's, you know, a sort of shucking knife, so dangerous, but she selected an oyster from which to retrieve a pearl. And they also they have a large cafe there, and their shtick, their novelty, is that if you order the large breakfast or the next one down, it comes served on a shovel. You can have a plate if you like, thank goodness, but we made himself order the big breakfast on a shovel so that we could have photographs of it. And that's how they work. That's marketing. Yeah, apart from that, probably it for this week, because work stuff. Knit night last night. This weekend I will be drumming in a daytime event. It's the Frost Fair, so rather than our traditional red and black, we'll be in white. Oh, phone. We'll be in whites, blues, frosty colours. So that should be good fun, and the weather is set fair, so that's good. Dentist this morning, as I have a broken tooth. It's been on the cusp for some time, and I was just keeping going as long as can. Nothing wrong with the dentist, I just would rather not go, as many of us are the same. As the dentist said to me last time, luckily I have quite a sort of, my top lip comes down quite low, so it's not too obvious, hopefully. I don't want to scare small children, but yeah, so that's in the pipeline to get fixed. So I think that's it for this week. So thank you again for being here. Different dogs this week, because my nephew and family, they have 2 dogs, including Aubrey the Chihuahua, who half dog, half scarf, as you'll see, and Anna the Spaniel, who's an absolute sweetheart. So a couple of pictures of their dogs, and then on to the footage, which will have flashing lights and movement of, you know, we took film as we were driving along. So again, if you are sensitive to those things, please don't make yourself poorly. But thank you all for being here, and I'll see you again next week. Before I forget, Colombo again, this is the last weekend of the month. How did that happen? So I will be putting the month end podcast up at some point this weekend, hopefully tomorrow, Saturday. Might be a little bit late because of other things, but the plan is tomorrow. So take care, everyone. Thanks for being here. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.